EYI. All right, EYI. EYI for a few minutes. AATW all around the world. Let's come in on the LD platform for light and life just for a few on this free indeed cheer up on a Friday night. That if I didn't know that woman right there, I would join. I would join. And hopefully, let's make sure we are here and live. Just for a few. And we are rushing in and definitely tell you the honest truth, and that is that we sure do feel a good night's sleep coming on tonight. Oh yes, and it's Friday already. What? You know, it's often, well, let me just put it like this, it's not often where, see if I have something just to put on my feet other than these shoes. It's not often that when you take time off, I'm gonna tell it, it's not often that when you take time off that the time doesn't go, you know, like the time just flies so fast. It's like, oh my goodness. And of course, you know, we're in that, let me grab the ruler real quick. MD, don't mean to be rude on this end, but I'm telling you, you're talking about someone who's going to get a good night's sleep. We're going to get one. But we're in that thing called light. Been there for 4 months as of today. And getting right comfortable right here. That being said, light is pretty quick and fast. Light goes so fast. And so we've been caught up into something here lately that has taken us by the speed of light. I'm sure some of you probably say, well, Mother, you know, spirit is pretty quick too. But let me tell you something, that light is something else. And as soon as we pretty much declared this, what day was it? That we posted it that said we would not be back in class until, keep these shoes off. We wouldn't be back into class until, well, this Friday. And I'm telling you, you talking about every day, just like wake up in the morning and then the next day, it's already Friday. I'm telling you, this week went by super fast. But thank God we're still here, alive and well. So we don't take that for granted. Hope no one takes it for granted that God has given us such grace and mercy to be able to do the things that we do. And we don't want to take that for granted, ever. And so this is that first day. For some, they consider it to be that April, and then they want to put a fool on there. So that'll be to each his own, definitely not MD. But we do see the 4th month as, according to the blessing of promise, and the blessing of promise. Yeah, we got to get into that. We see, I have to feel that freedom in my head. We're not there yet. So give us a second and grab that. Put on our right crown for what we need. like we are where we should be. I guess we probably could. Well, there's stars on our feet already. We good to go. Let's just go ahead and put it out there for those that are going to see this and will see this for the first time. You didn't end up here by coincidence or accident, not at all. If you're a firm believer like his servant, you believe that our steps are ordered. You believe, no, we're not going to do a classic cassette tonight. It's just a couple things we need to bring to light on tonight. And so we're just going to talk this one through for a few minutes and all to let you know what we have that's coming up that have not been seen yet. So that being said, those that are coming in for the first time, always help us to share the wealth. And that means let somebody else know that we are here. This is where you have arrived, is on that MD platform for light and life. We're here Monday through Wednesday, and then on Friday, and then back again on Sunday. All of these are different things. We're on various walls because we have 4 walls of salvation. And each wall literally has like 3 different activities on them. And so we embrace each and every one of them to get I am sent me, the storehouse, that you see over his servant's shoulder, above his servant head, which is none other than the blessing of promise, getting this to the world, AATW, all around the world. Now, we've done it in the community, in the churches, schools, I mean, you just name it, with the children, city, country, counties. We've taken this, to the length that we could take it. And now we're readjusting some things because we've done so much and it's been so much progress that now, 23 years later, that's what you're going to hear us boasting, is that 23rd year, which is seen through the Spirit as the 23rd day. And so you're going to see us boast in that, like we boast in the 7th year, the 6th year. You're going to see us boast in that 23rd day, that being like to the 23rd year. And so since we just hit that on March the 26th of this year, 2022, and we hit it in light. Oh my goodness, we hit it in light. That you're going to hear MD just talk about that like we're going to talk about a building, and we're just so excited about this, and we're going to keep pushing that. That's our focus. That is what we literally stopped. Like the world froze, all the places we used to actually be a part of and encountered with, and basically gave a lot of attention and time to, we literally backed up off of that and all, because for 22 years, even longer, because we've had, since the age of 22, in which we've assisted others, ministries, from the ground up, when there was nothing. Also, just some that just had a thought of ministry. And then because of our experience and things that we've encountered, and from the years of my father, and then on up the ranks we could go, that this particular year, we look at it like the year 2022, it was like, every break went on, and skink. I mean, things just come to a sudden halt. And it wasn't because of a virus or pandemic or anything like that. It was the words of the Lord spoken unto his servant. And seeing that we've helped and done so much for other ministries, the Lord literally put the brakes on, you understand, and commanded us to slow down and to teach an ignorant folk. And like we said, Ignorant is not a bad word. If you don't know something, you just don't know it. And so we found out that not too many people in the house of God, the body of Christ, the believer that should be the receiver, know about light. And so, oh my goodness, if you see MD like this, it's because it's L-I-G-H-T. Nothing extravagant, nothing all drawn out. I don't have to have this right or that right or whatever like that. And there's always a time and a place for everything. But we want to get this in your spirit, what it is to live a light, L-I-G-H-T, life. And all. And pretty much what you do see over his servant head and above his, over his servant shoulder, above his servant head, is what we've used for 22 years. Through the good times, the not so good times, through the ups and the downs, through dark periods, through periods of being without, and all. Something was keeping us, something was motivating us, something was giving us that extra and strength to just continue and go forth and go beyond. And then it took a moment or two, we say around 2016, when the Spirit just like took us beyond the veil, which what we do on day 8 and 18 and 28, and showed us this is what it's been. It's been having the word of light and all, something that we took to the community, a word of light to the community, something that we gleaned in the field and all, that was working. And so, the things that we want to share with you, and we just hope that we get the opportunity to do it all right here and do it this year. Get as much of this progress, AATW, all around the world, in the right ear, to the right ones, to the ones that will find themselves inside of what is considered BOP, but it is the blessing of promise. And to be able to share it with the people, thy people, for them to see it. See, there is such a thing as the blessing of promise that contains all of the promises of God, that are yea and amen. Then not only that, but it also contains all, listen to this, all of the covenants. You understand? And so they're right here. The covenant with Abraham, the covenant with David, you understand? And oh my goodness, it just goes on and on and on. The covenant with Noah. You see, it just goes on and on and on, and it's right here. And so we're having this opportunity, which we consider to be a golden one, to take it AATW, take it outside the box. You understand? Bring that God of I am outside of the box and take him to the world. And so that's why we're here on a Friday night. We start loading up around 7:09. Sometimes we may even hit that 7:09. And when that happens, that's a miracle. But when we come like this, it is for you to understand that we have something like an assignment that we have till this end of this year, if not before, because things are happening early to do it. And so we're excited about that. We're so excited we don't even know what to do with ourselves, even to the point that we say that most of the time the things that we do is literally like if someone didn't say, MD, slow down, MD, do this, MD, do that. And by the way, we're still looking for our personal assistants, that you are so good with time and everything that you can manage MD time without telling MD what to do. And so we still have that out there, and every now and again we'll put it out there and all to the ears of those. And then, one thing about the Spirit, when it's the right time, we call it the perfect time, then it'll hit the ear of the one that is it is sent to hear. All right? So that being said, we are not going to hold you long. We're going to put a few things in front of your face, just for the records, because we're in that free indeed. Cheer up. And like we said, whenever we hit this MD platform for light and life, if we can't make it light, we're definitely not going to make it hard. And we use that so you can understand that. and all. And so here we are for a few minutes, just a few minutes. We're not going to do a chosen dialogue, neither are we going to do a classic cassette, but we're going to, basically for those that will covenant up, we're going to give you a little bit more information on tonight. First of all, we're going to tell you, because we just come out of the month of, we did January, February. February is when we started coming into exactly what would be the pinpoint. If we were to bring the whole month together, what would the month bring to us? And so for February, it brought us a fantastic February, and it was indeed a fantastic February. Then in March, we had miraculous. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, a miraculous March. It was so miraculous that we're still getting testimonies from the things that has happened in the month of March. It was just very, very powerful. So we're moving right along because we're in the month of April. And so we want to put it on you early so you can start gathering it and putting it in your spirit that the month of April, as it is seen through the Spirit concerning I am sent me, the storehouse, the blessing of promise, and of course, like we said, MD, his servant just tags along. His servant MD just tags along, and everybody else that want to come along, we just tag along. And we receive of these blessings that only God could give to his people. And so in the month of May, we already wrote it down. It's like we got on a little, exciting little trip there for a moment. And as soon as February hit, it worked out like that. March hit, it worked out like that. Then we began to tell them, and we may even have it here. It began 02, so that's February the 14th of 2022. So we'll look back for that one particular live video where we may be explaining this or like in detail as to what brought us to where we are today, which is the month of April. And in this month of April, these are the words we heard. We'll just say one word we heard, like all the others, that really pinpoint what will come out of this month. And so for the month of April, what will come forth out of this month is amazing things. So look for some amazing things to come together or to come forth, to spring forth. Look at that. Hear that in the spirit. Spring forth in the month of April. And so we're already going to receive that right now. Let's take a moment. It's free indeed. It's that cheer up time. If I didn't know that woman right there, I would join her church. And like we said, it's a little too late for church for MD and all, because, we look at the church and all nowadays, and we don't have anything against the church other than it just needs to get stronger, and it needs to represent Christ much, much more bolder than it has been. You see, it has to get bold for Christ. It has to be to the point that the God that we serve is undeniable. You understand, to the point that we're just not going to compromise that God with the world. And so, we're really into something right now that we just cannot get ourselves out of it. And then, like we said, to the Spirit of the Lord, we really don't want to come out of this. It is a powerful time to really be in oneness with God. And so let's go ahead and receive that in our spirit right now. Let's receive that April is going to be, see, you have to do this in your spirit. You have to get it to the point that you believe it in your spirit. So for you to grab it and you like, I got this, you see. I'm going to hold on to this. Yes, this is what I believe, right? And so if you come through February, it was fantastic. If you made it through March and it was miraculous, then you can expect nothing less in the month of March, in the month of April, and that is an amazing month. Say it, just go ahead. I'm going to have an amazing month. Oh my God, that's all you have to do. Look, light is just that light. I am, and when you really get within an arm reach, and here it comes, a hug, right? Of this ministry of I am sent me, of the storehouse, of the blessing of promises, servant and all. When you get that close, and all, you understand, you get into the I am. That's confidence. You see, that's a Hebrews kind of thing. What is it? Hebrews 10:35. And all. That's that kind of moment there where you cast not away therefore your confidence, because you got that confidence, that it shall surely come to pass. So grab that right there and just say, I am going to have an amazing, amen, April. And it is what it is. Light is just that light. So you can expect amazing things to happen because you're saying it. You're letting it come forth out of your mouth. The things that can change and alter and move and remove, replace, substitute. I mean, just call it what it is. And you control that. You take authority over that. That's even a higher word. Take authority over anything that won't or want to come in my way to keep me from having an amazing April. Okay, so that being said, we'll make sure that you hear that in the wind for the whole month now, not 1 or 2 days, 3, whatever days, the whole month. Go ahead and say it, the whole month. And we're going to have an amazing April. I want to grab something, and we talked about this, just not certain if it was Friday, and we want to note the time of 8:25. That is that's a perfect timing. So we're going to make sure that we put, maybe do a video or something, or put something there that has 8:25 in it, so you can see what we do at around 8:25. That's a perfect time, and we just saw that on the actual clock. Of course, we can do an announcement right here because every Thursday at 8:25, we're in that room over there, which is the room of and for eternal, #lowercase-l life. We're there every Thursday unless there's something that you see a little post come up and it has it's a letter to MD that says, to MD, time is of a very essence. That means something has drawn me beyond the four walls and things like that, and it's pretty much more this is important to his servant, but there's something of a higher calling, and it's pulled his servant to it. So we wouldn't be able to get out of it if we could. So with that being said, we did something, whether it was Friday or whether it was on Sunday. I'm going to think it was on Friday because we had a real explosive time here on last Friday. So I'm going to think it was around about that time, but we'll look into these videos before the night is over with and before we sign off for at least, that whole day, that 12, 24-hour kind of thing with the internet. But we found it. There it is, right there. Oh, I'm going to have fun for as long as we can do it. Look at that. There it is. Remember this? And we went to look for it. Was it on Sunday? Really not sure. It could have been Sunday. We have a lot of things going on. But I'm going to think it was somewhere either Friday or Sunday. Really want to pull on Sunday, but we'll check it. But anyway, we found it, and it was right in the area that we looked, but it was underneath some papers, but we found it, and this is the book that we say that we're not in this book, although it says we the people. You see that? There it is, right there. Put it up on you. It says we the people, and I believe we broke down to you according to the Bible, the blessing of promise, and all. And showed you the people, his people, my people, thy people. And we broke all of that down to you and all. And we shared with you where a people like his servant could be found. And that's in that Bible book that many wants a lot of you to stop reading and a lot of you to not become acquainted to. And without light, you will not be able to see the difference. And why so many would want us to look at, it was a white man that wrote the Bible. No, you see, we got to get past this like color thing as a race, and we have to see people as one spirit. And when we can see people as one spirit, or we can look beyond whether you are, this color or non-color or whatever race you might be, it won't matter. Only the spirit matter. And so that's where the warring and the fights and the division and all those kind of things come in. And it's also based on how people believe. But that being said, this is one thing, and I know people are fighting, but when we look into this, and you ought to get you one, if we find any more, we'll have them on hand. But when you read it, although it was meant for, like, to say we the people, as if those that are of of color, and we just say that for you to hear, of color, really do fit in this book, things wouldn't be the way that it is today. If we the people were considered as, us being a part of that. So we'll go back and find that video, and we'll kind of put it here so you can see what was being said by the Spirit during that time when we literally was looking for this and we couldn't find it. Here it is so you can see it. And of course we do have previous photos and all with some information already on there, along with the video also. But we're going to make sure we put that on the record. This is, like we said, an amazing month. And you probably say, well, Mother, what's going to make this month so amazing? Is because if we even looked in the direction of number 4, which is Bob 4, Isaiah 60 and 4, known as the Bob, that number 4 is always going to represent earth blessing. But then when you get further into the blessing of promise, that is the one that it's over here in 22, but that is the one that we have declared to be the actual this day right here as a shell day. And it's because it has the shell in there, but that is a very powerful number 4 because it represents an earth blessing. And so for a whole month, nothing but earth. It's God moving within our earth. It's God having his way in the earth. The last time his servant checked, and we're almost about to get out of here, but the last time his servant checked in the BIBLE kind of thing, what we saw was the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And you, me, we, a few of we, all they that dwell therein. So the last time that we checked the BIBLE, nothing's changed. So if the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, then because the earth belongs to the Lord, then the Lord has to bless those that are in the earth, that are his. It's his earth. And so that's one of the reasons why we can stand firmly to say that the month, the whole entire month, this month, April, is going to be an amazing, that's to the believer that is the receiver, an amazing month. And all because we see who really is in charge of the earth, who the earth really does belong to. And then there's a passage of scripture, we won't quote it, but we will grab the BIBLE because it's ringing in the service spirit about the earth giving its increase. There's a passage of scripture, it's almost like one of those like run together, run after the Isaiah 60 favorite kind of book kind of thing. But it's in Psalms, and it talks about how the earth will yield forth her increase. It's a very powerful word for those that can receive it. And so why be here? And I believe we had a moment where we would even ask, at one moment where the Lord had me to have the people ask for the Lord to move in my earth. And all this. So we feel that thing happening again. But here it is. It's in Psalm 67, if you can write it. Psalm 67, and it's the 6th Right there, it's number 6. So it's Psalm 67. And this is not a psalm written by David. So it's Psalm 67, right? And it's number 6. And it says, then shall the earth yield her increase. Because anything that can produce, you understand, it can produce more is considered her. You see that all throughout the Bible. And God, even our own God, shall bless us. So if we say this is going to be this right here, and I might as well just go in and read 6 and 7. How about that? Because the number 7 goes to say, God shall bless us. And all the ends of the earth shall fear him. And this is, we won't get into it tonight, but we will, when we say we'll come back on Sunday and do this thing some justice, we'll come back on Sunday. We'll have a comeback Sunday. And we'll do this thing some justice, because we do believe that what's going to happen and what is happening with all these things that look like things is colliding. Remember that one message that says, I and the earth is about to collide and it's going to be a collision? Well, we really do believe that, because God is in the blessing business concerning his people, you and I, a few of we. What's happening is that the overwhelming, this is where we want to get out of here, the overwhelming of blessing is like the rain that comes and goes whoosh. Oh! That's what happens. It's like God, it's like he's literally opening up the palm of his hand like this and just showering, like pouring, if you just would allow us to say that, in all truth, pouring down blessings to those that are like this in a praise position, and you're ready to receive. Now, we've had such a moment this week that literally we had to just like come off of the air. We literally had to just like, you understand, just like, put up a time, time, Lord, time, let's take a time out here, and we have the air blowing, and some of these don't have strong enough backs, and that's another reason for a good, like we said, assistant and secretary to run errands and pick up all of these things. And y'all would probably say, LD, how come you got those 4 sons? If you just see their life is alone. Busy. They don't even really have time for their own mother. That's alarming, but that some of them make those, they, with the exclusion of some of them, you understand, because I have one, you can't tell him he's not security. He is absolutely security all the way. I'm telling you, you better not try to tell him anything else. He'll sit outside. I look out there and see him out there. You can't tell him he's not security and all. But, we just believe that things is just happening. And so we just had one of those weeks that we just like had to give our own self like one of these days, like time out, MD, time out. And literally, remember like the other night, I believe we called it the night, like at around 8 o'clock. We were like already in the bed. Now, that's a miracle. Somebody ought to praise the Lord for MD right there. I'm telling you, about 8 o'clock, we were in that bed, sleep and all. And I believe we slept for a full 12 hours. I mean, it was like we slept on something that was just so divine. It was like we couldn't come up out of it if we wanted to. But anyway, let us just conclude here, because it's that blessing. And what we mean to say is that for that whole week, we were just so overwhelmed. It was like the Spirit said to point in the direction of the blessing, which is Isaiah 60:5. And in Isaiah 60:5, that thing talks about the abundance, you see. And that's where we were all through the week of this week, the latter part of March, the miraculous month. We were right there. And it was like, oh my goodness, like heaven was just going whoosh, just whoosh, just just all through the week, whoosh, you understand, to the point that it was like, I was like doing this, and had to just like, I've got to get some rest, and I've got to you know, to lay down, and I've got to be able to receive this, you know, in the manner in which it's coming and all. And I believe like that other day, which was like coming into Thursday, after having that whole night where we literally went to bed so early. We retired for the evening so early. And I believe it was that one night that helped us to recuperate and to, you know, be able to come back vibrant and like, okay, if this is how it's going to be, then this is how it's going to be. And you must understand that we have just entered, listen to this in the spirit, we have just entered into one of the most powerful timings of the Spirit concerning the ministry of I Am Sent Me. And that is that 23rd, it come right away. It come right away, and it's early, 10 months early, right? We're experiencing a 23rd year without it actually being 2023. So we always get that, what we used to call it a dry run, and then the Lord said, no, that's the double is upon us, so that you miss nothing. And so it come in so fast, like things were just like whoosh, whoosh. And as soon as we just get up, whoosh, you know, like this, and it just literally like took us off our feet again, while we just had to like literally grab a hold of, if this is the way it's going to be, then we're just going to have to gear ourselves up for like, okay, we're ready for the blessing kind of thing. And as we look in that direction of the blessing, that's what was going on. The abundance, you read it, I won't read it to you. It's in Isaiah 60 and 5, and it's known to us as the blessing of promise, which is Bob 5. And that's where we were for the latter part of March of 2022. And so that being said, we have to be, you know, we read about it, and that's like in the direction of the tides, about opening up the windows of heaven, pouring you out a blessing. But what if your life begins to set, or God begins to set, the Spirit begins to set the rhythm of your life, like to the point where it becomes something that continues? Because see, that's part of the blessed promise as well, continually. So God continues to bless you on a day-to-day day-to-day basis, where he just bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. I mean, some of you, I'm going to just tell you what the Spirit just said. He said some of you can't even tell people every day, bless you. You understand? So imagine God is saying, bless you, you know, bless you. You understand? Bless you, you know, bless you. Wake up in the morning, bless you. You understand? Bless you. Oh, if God's people, that people that, you know, also shall be all righteous. What if you just get that in your spirit and just bless you? You know, you can even bless your enemies. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Do you know the amount of blessing that will come upon you? And of course, like we said, this blessing this time around, folks are going to think you're selfish. They're going to think that you are just so into yourself, but they weren't with you through all them years of which you just, everything you gave, you received, you was giving away. You kept nothing for yourself. You just give it away, give it away, give it away. I shared this testimony before we close, and then I'm going to run over there, and I'm going to get something, and I'm going to slap it in your face like, you know, maybe we don't need to use the word slap, you understand? We didn't mean it like that, you understand? But just put it in your face. And those that know MD, you know MD do have that little humor side that keeps our feet on this floor and all keep us from floating all the way to a place of where we just, you understand, we don't ever want to get to that place of being holier than thou, and we just so sanctified, and we just so Holy Ghost filled, we just know earthly good. We don't want to be like that. So allow the humor in his servant to come forth every now and again. We're not goofy, but we like to laugh sometimes. You know, we have, just look at some of the videos, they'll pop up on this wall before the night is over with. They'll be right here and all, and just catch yourself a few laughs and enjoy it before retiring for the night. I mean, it is light, it's just that light. And you really don't want to be around people that, oh, they so serious. Oh my goodness, it's like, you just really don't want to be around them. It's like, you know, it's just not exciting. But anyway, we just had like a little small testimony, but it was huge for his servant, because one of our sons ran into something, you know, he ran into something a little difficult for him, you know, and this is the one that just, you know, he could be into something, or he might have a need or something, and like his mother won't ask, you understand? You expect people to be so deep, discern, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through this, and just because I don't wear it out here doesn't mean I'm not feeling it in here. And oh, if somebody could just discern what I'm going through, you know, there'd be nobody but the Lord, you know, kind of thing. And so, you know, he got himself into something, you know, and everything is just pretty much like the one that is like to himself kind of person. And so he like caught up like all of us off guard. And so, you know, like a big demand for his servant, and you all probably think it's small, MD, that's no money and all, but when you really have something you want to do, like get a building, you understand? And if someone don't give it to me, then you know we're gonna get it anyway. You know, so give or get. That's the term. It's not even really an option and all. But that being said, and so MD is so focused on this building that you just hope everybody just go and just do what you need to do, and let MD just continue to, you know, put 40 here, put 40 there. Just let's work towards this building. And then so he ended up in a little situation, and next thing we know, you know, I'm getting wind of it, you know, and everything, and but when it was all said and done, MD had to laugh, his brothers had to laugh, and all, because sometimes you just don't know how important you might be in somebody's life, even if it's no more than your children. And you know, and they've never really like asked me for anything big or anything like that, but they know what I'm doing right now. I'm doing it for us. And for him to have a moment where, even though I was really, really caught up, the words that we said about being there for them this time, because of the early 20 years or so, we just gave it all to the church and things like that, that really we were just constantly on the go. We really didn't have the time, even though we made some time, we just really didn't have the time like most families may have together, and all without being pulled to this or pulled to that. And so to see that need arrive and to see that I was there to help, you know, we laughed at the end, and I was like, all I could do was like, well, even MD didn't even know he had $2,000 just laying around like that, you understand? And it made people laugh, you know, including servant, because in everything that we were doing, there was just like this little extra here, and we didn't touch it. And who would have known and all, and he definitely didn't ask for it. And so that was just a blessing. And when you get to that moment where you're like, Lord, that's the moments we want. We want to be able to do this. Like if you are over family, you're leading your family and things like that, and especially if you're the head of that family, and they're dependent on you, and they're leading towards you in areas of taking them in different areas of life. If moments like this unexpected coming, and then you kind of shine in the moment of that and have everybody else laughing, because most of the time they can hear me saying, I'm going to do this for such and such a person, and this and that and this and that, and always like distributing outwardly, and nothing ever coming back to the table in which it's spread. And so to see that this time we were like, you know, in our own little world, and all, and then the need arrives. A need arises for his mother, and you understand, and you can't tell them I'm a man kind of thing. We're supposed to help mother. We're not supposed to take anything from mother kind of thing, and that's their mentality. And then all of a sudden, there was that moment, and it felt good to be able to help him. And all, and then he says, this one here, this is so funny for me, is that this one here, he might borrow every now and again. He might borrow like, $20 or something like that, or he might borrow, I think the max he might have borrowed like $200, and so he got off with like only paying back $100. And I tell my sons, I'm like, I'm talking about the blessing right now, the swoosh kind of blessing. See, folks don't like it when you start talking about blessing your own family and all, but you can bless everybody else, but don't bless your family. Let your family be the one that, like, all they do is for them church folks kind of people. No, you should be able to bless your family just like you don't bless all these church folks. And so at least your families, thank God for some of them will come back and say thank you, or they'll go beyond that and do something even greater. And so I'll say to them, if they ever need to borrow, I was like, well, the only reason why you have to pay it back is because you said you wanted to borrow it. Now, if you said, mother, can I just, I don't know when I'm going to pay you back or having to pay you back, but, at least they put it out there. But when they use that word like that, which they don't really like to see them use, but when they use it, I'm going to hold them accountable and all. And it doesn't skip over MD families. See, that's the steward God has called his servant to be. That it doesn't even skip over MD's family, not even those children, not even a seed, and all. And so, this one was much bigger. And I was like, well, last time, $200, and you got away with not giving back 100, even though one of your brothers like, I got him covered. You understand? We still look for you to just, come through. And that means it's still in the pot for the family. If somebody else in the family might need it, at least you put it back in the pot. And so this one was huge, and then that's where we had to really have that conversation. We didn't tell you about that. We had to have that conversation. It's like, what? This is what the Lord let me see, the $200, and then you didn't come through with the 100, and now it's 2,000, 20,000 the next time. Come on now. And so he's like, "Oh, I'll pay you back, Mom." Now they want to be all serious. "I'll pay you back, Mom." "I'm gonna pay you back, Mom." But it blew his servant mind, is that how he's like, even if I got to give you my whole paycheck, and it was so amazing to see him step up to pay in less than 2 weeks. He done paid 1,000 of it back. So that was a blessing, and I thank the Lord for that. And give him another 2 weeks, he'll put the other 1,000 back, and we put it back in the pot. But that's the blessing, and that's because we, how about if we just say to you, "I'm going to bless you every day"? How about if your mother just put that blessing on you every day? And that's what we was doing. We were, commanding the blessing, like, "Bless him, Lord, bless him, bless him." But can you handle the blessing? You understand? We know that for that whole week for MD, that thing kind of like knocked MD off of MD feet again. Like, Lord, is this what it's going to be like? Because if this is what it's going to be like, then we need to gear ourselves up for a blessing like this. And can anybody see beyond this, that even though all of this is not being shown right now, and all 22 easels aren't up, but if you dare open up that Bible and start looking through that one blessing after blessing after blessing, every blessing is loaded. And can you imagine God saying, "Okay, now is the time for that"? Oh no, we need to be ready like we can handle, somebody say, a blessing. And so that being said, we're so blessed to see the things that has happened. And this right here that I'm about to show you is the most blessed thing that ever happened to us. We got to date it all the way back to, we're going to date it around October the 25th of 2018. And if the date is any earlier than that, of course, can you stand to be corrected? I can't. And so we can do that. But here's where we're going to close with this Free Indeed Cheer Up that did not, we couldn't go in the direction of a classic cassette or a chosen dialogue. And it's because we wanted to talk to you this night, make you ready for the month of April, which is that earth blessing, which is that amazing month, right? And so I moved this out the way, and we had a most exciting, we'll move the little desk over here, we had an amazing, we can say it's April, but this happened during the month of March, so we might as well stick with the miraculous. So this was a miraculous day. Those that really have been following his servant, you've been following his servant, and we're only talking to those that are looking for good to come out of this, looking for a blessing after blessing after blessing, because we will not be sticking with the ones that want to have the curse with the curse. You're on your own this year. You're on your own. We're gonna have to see you later, kind of people, because some folks just, even though God want to bless them, they still want to hang amongst the curse with the curse and all, and barely make it as long as I get it from point A to point B. And you understand that we teach you and showing you how to dress the blessing and all. And by the way, if you ordered anything, I know folks just think I got, MD got 1 or 2 people and it's just that easy. You wait till we find that assistant and we just throw it all in their hands and they're trusted. They get to see that even though, we may not have all the glamour and the chandeliers and all that, yet and all that. We're a pretty busy person and things like that. And some of y'all heard a recent testimony that we shared with you just maybe a few days ago in one of the classes and all. And that's how the Lord blesses us. And we thank the Lord for that blessing, and we just have to hear it in the spirit to disperse it wisely and all. And we have a couple of small little videos. If we can do them tonight, we will do them tonight and all, just to give you a little glimpse of some of the things that is transpiring and all, and which has caused us to open up and do certain other things that we thought would be a little bit more further up the way, but they've come hitting us straight on in the face kind of thing, where we have to acknowledge it now and all. It may be too late later on when we already into it, so we're letting you know in advance. Pretty much what we do anyway. We give you, and even if you see this class, you know this class is a class of advance. We give you things in advance. Now, if you just take your little slow poke time and you're like, well, I'll just wait till I really, you're going to be on the outside looking in, and you're going to completely miss the full essence of what God really wants to do. But that being said, we did a video. All of this, so you can see, even though we're talking about it tonight, we did it before. We just haven't had the time to load it up. And we made one attempt to do so, and was hoping that it would just come up on the actual little bop over, that little bop over there. TNOIAM sent me, we tried it, but it hasn't loaded up yet. And so we're grateful that we went on and put it on YouTube for such a time as this, so we could have the exact date in which it happened. So that being said, we did a video. It's about 12. It is exactly 12:44. So you know where that's going, right? In that 2:44 kind of slot. So we did a video at the building 1500. That building is starting to take on MD. Starting to enjoy a moment down there, and we're off to the next abandoned building. Now, what I'm going to ask for those that really do want to see this ministry into a building, want to see us grow to a building and have something that is of our very own after this period of time of 23 years. We're in our 23rd year. And you really want to see us go that far and all, we're going to keep coming to you to push us. And push us by way of support, and that is on every level, not just by word of mouth, but indeed as well. And so we're going to be pushing to you for you to push back, not in resistance, but you understand, oh, come on, give us that little extra of what we might need for this particular thing. But this is what we're going to ask of you, is that you do not allow this one right here to slip through his servant's fingers. And we're going to ask you, those that really want to see us in the building, that you do not allow this one here to slip through our fingers. And the Lord laid that upon his servant heart on the 28th. And so those are the words that we've had in our belly from day 28, which is the day of covenant and spirit, is to bring these words to you, that if you're really on board and you really want to see us into a building, that you really go beyond just talking in words and just want to see that you really have deeds to come with that, like action as well. And so that being said, we did this video. It's 12 minutes and 44 seconds. That's just the beginning of that. That was to show the 3/26, 2022, the celebration of the 23rd, what we call now the 23rd day. For some of you, if you get that close, you're going to know it's the 23rd year. But for us, our years have grown, come to months, months become days, so we could get to the very day we are today. And so, it's been 23 years, but in the spirit only sees it as 23 days. So we're at a 23rd day. And we admonish you to read about that. It can be found in another sister or brother's scripture in the Bible. That's in 2 Chronicles 7 and 10. There is that 20, that 3rd and 20. So I'm reading it as 23rd. Right, in reverse, 23rd, and we say 23rd day. And so it's right there of all that goodness that is partake in that one particular passage of scripture of 2 Chronicles 7 in the 10th verse, and then 3 verses under that, you'll find the 14th verse that talks about, you know, if my people, which are called by my name. So there's a very powerful chapter right there. But this right here happened. We went there on the 26th. So we did that video to celebrate that 23rd day. Wasn't going to go back anytime soon, but then there was this pulling that I was saying that I might have probably would have ended up there on Sunday. But we had such a powerful gathering of the nation, and things just, you know, blessings begin to happen during that moment, that it didn't take me outside of that blessing. So we stayed right here and received the blessing. So that being said, you know, we were called to do something on Monday, and it required us to do it early. So early rise to do this, that was unexpected, hadn't planned to do it. But when we were asked to do it, we were like, oh, I would love to do this. And so it took us in the direction of the building. We did a video or whatever. We got a couple of little clips that you'll see, and we'll finish it up tonight. But we were out there, like way out there in like Seminole County, really, seriously, Florida, those that live in Florida or surrounding areas. And we were that far out, and we had turned off our map and all, our GPS, and we were just like going to figure it out, because ever since the Lord started talking to us about the north, the east, the south, and the west, and there's only but a few verses that we read or have become acquainted in the Bible with about telling the north to give up and the south to keep not back. And so we're hearing the north, the east, the south, and the west, and knowing that we are soon to command that, the 4 winds of the earth, and things like that. So we're just all in tune to that. And so we're out there and turned the GPS off, and like, we'll figure our way back. Of course, we did get a little lost, you know, in doing so, but we wanted to make sure that we start figuring out while we're out driving without a GPS, if we could sense things in the spirit enough to know when we're going north, east, you know, south and west, those kind of things, right? And so, like we said, we ended up being lost the first time out doing it like that, and on some new territories, new roads and things like that. And then all of a sudden, when we didn't know what we were going to do or which direction to take, we said if we saw the next Starbucks, we were going to stop. And not a coffee lover, you know, anything like that, but we had a taste for this one particular thing that we like to drink, and once in a blue moon, we might get it. And so we passed by one Starbucks, another one, but when we kind of like wasn't sure of our direction, we just pulled into there like, was this the perfect time to go get what I would like to drink? Go in there and get it. I did a little video, we'll put it out there, it's funny. And didn't ask anybody for directions, just took a little moment, grabbed that little thing that we like to drink, and just thought we just like still drive into the wind, and wherever we go is wherever we go. Mother, should you be doing this when gas is so high? Yes. So we were just driving, and the next thing that when I looked up, we come to like a light, and then there was this word, Lee Road, and I was like, So not certain if I should go left or right, not having my bearings right. So we went across the street and kept going straight, and then we kind of like made a U-turn to come back. And at the light, the Spirit said, go left. So that's what we did. We went left. And so all of a sudden, when we started going left, the area looked familiar. And then we were in MD's spirit was like, oh, we're so near the building. We are so close to that building. 1500, the pinnacle, for those that really get that close. And so we just kept going. And the area looked so familiar. And then you'll see a little funny clip that MD is like, oh. And so out of nowhere, this was not planned. We did not plan to go there on a Monday. Normally, we're there on a Saturday, not a Monday, all right? And so on a Monday morning, the area looks familiar, so we're like, Gloria and me was like, we're gonna just keep going, and you know, if we're going the wrong direction, well, at least we know where we are. We just turn around and go up the other way. And so we kept on going, and then the next thing you know, the buildings started to look more and more familiar. And so then I'm like, oh, we here. And then I started singing this little funny song, you know, I'm coming up. You know, y'all probably say, yeah, y'all know y'all say on the rough side. No, we were going to say, I'm coming up on the building. So that we're doing a little song. And so the next thing I know, you're going to see MD like, you know, turn around there, because guess what? Somebody, I wish I had somebody happy for me. Somebody, for the first time in over, 2018, and we're in the year 2022, somebody was at that building on a Monday morning. I kid you not, we did a video. Now this is the second video. We did 3, but this is the second lift video that we did at that area of the building. MD saw someone out there. I saw this little body moving around. I said, somebody's at the building. So I turned around and, you know, get up in there. And then there's this car that was parked inside where you see the chains and things like that. But those that really get so close, you heard the service say, we're going to start believing God, God's going to send somebody by that building, and on and on and on and on and on. Because we started telling you about how we saw life coming to that building, and on and on and on and on. And that's when all the trees was all wild, and it's almost stay with it serving for a few more minutes. Now, that's why we didn't put on a classic cassette or a chosen dialogue. It's because we knew we had this to say. And it's almost, listen to this, it's almost identical to what was happening when we were at 709. It's almost identical, y'all. So we can't let this one slip through our fingers, you see. So we're calling all help from Zion and everywhere we can call it and all, because what happened on Monday, we believe was just that we were still part of that miraculous march. That was miraculous, because no one has been at that building for a lift up period. I'm talking years. Couldn't find anybody down there at all. And you could tell by how the trees and stuff was just out of proportion. They were just big trees. Thank God for the angel. They were just, whew. But this particular day, not expected to be out there in that area, and didn't plan it at all. This was a day that through the Spirit, someone was at that building, made that turn around and come up to that building, and we're just going to let you hear it. We're not even going to tell you. We're going to let you laugh with us and see who we come in contact with at that building. And then we just not only talked to her, but we also talked to the one that, and you heard the service said, I think like a year or so ago, we kept saying that when we would make a call to that number, it sounded like someone like Japanese or whatever like that. It was like, so I'm looking at the person actually who is on the other side of that voicemail. And he was at the building on Monday. Absolutely, tell you no lie. You see it in the video. We did it. We did a video, a live video. And it was powerful. It was powerful. So look for that to come on the wall. We'll link it here. I am sending that little Bible. We'll link it right here. Go over there and check out that video. It's going to be powerful. It blessed his service. So I'm telling you, we'll stop right there. But anyway, you'll hear us in that video. It's like somebody just handed MD the paperwork. So here it is. Here it is. Here's all the paperwork for right there. This is a little bit of it. And all, it's a powerful building. It's a powerful, just put a little bit up here on there for you to see. And all, it's powerful. Look at that. It's powerful. Look at that. Look at that. We've received on Monday all of the information contained in this building. We won't say anything about it. That's all you're going to get from it. We're just going to put it up here and all. It is a two-story commercial building. It's not like the 709, which is resident and commercial, but I'm almost sure we can flip it. And then this is like, you can see this right here, okay? And you know it had to be God because, and I see that, look at that, 844-8. So you know it had to be God, but when I close with this, it's going to bless you even more because it's blessed MD. There's a little bit more on this right here. I'll just put it up there, all this part of here. So we have all of this, but this was really this got MD all excited. I was just so excited. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look at that. Can anybody see inside that building? Now, I'm almost certain these pictures was like what it was like a building. You know what I'm saying? It was looking like something. But this building had been sitting vacant as I was talking to. He was the manager of the property, but he didn't have the key to get into the property. All right? And also, so look at that. So this is like what it was like looking like something, right? So I will not say anything else. I'm almost about to say something, but it's in the video, so you'd have to look at the video and everything. And so there's a little bit more right there. Right there. I'm just so glad we told the Lord yes that day and all like, oh yeah, I don't mind, I'll do it. Because if we hadn't said yes, the perfect time, we would have missed someone being at that building. And we believe that all of that, we just laughed at it. I was like, MD just had to say, I believe that this was just a sent, the Lord sent us in that direction. And all that, even when we thought we were lost, we were going in the direction of the building, and at a time of unexpectancy, not even looking for it, someone was at that building. That video is gonna bless you. And those, the Lord said to me, I want you to stop asking for investors and ask the people to invest. That's what the Lord said to his servant. So we're gonna ask you, that's what we were speaking about earlier, go beyond talking, you see, and be about action and deed, and not let this slip through his servant figure. You shouldn't even want to see MD do it all by MD self, and just a little here, a little there, when you could just write the check, or you could just give it amounts, a big abundance amount. I want you to have that building here. Go ahead and do it. You see, because we already have every room filled. We already have a plan. The plan is right over his servant's shoulder and above his servant head. We already know what we're going to do, and things like that. The Spirit, like a Jesus, feeding the 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. He already knew what he would do, and so we know what we're going to do with this building. You understand? And for all the years when we had buildings, the Lord never said, oh, you understand? And every time he would send somebody stranger by, what you going to do with this building? And after I would share what we were going to do, and that was before we had all this. And then they would tell his servant, it's still too small. So the Lord had to take us to a place of room after room, building after building, kingdom after kingdom. And now you get to see what's inside of there. And then took us to a place where it was too small, and said that since the house is too small for the vision, I made it provision. So it showed us how to take something small and make provision out of it. And that was through vision. And so we already know what we're going to do inside that building and all that. So you look for MD to do it by MD self, that could take it could be today, it could be tomorrow, you understand? But, it could be like a Moses with a Pharaoh, not wanting to assist after building all of the things that Moses did for Pharaoh. But Moses come to a day, and we won't even talk about that. It's on that video, so y'all need to look what Moses did. Well, that's the same approach that the Lord said to his servant. No more ask for investors, ask the people to invest. And so I'm showing you right here, it's in my hand, this paperwork. Didn't get that with 709, but I have it with this here. And he said, I'm the first one. You just look at the video, and things like that. And that's because we have a vision for no matter what building it is. Listen to this, no matter what building it is, you've seen the building after building, the kingdom after kingdom. You understand? God has given his servant a vision. And that vision, with that vision, the people will not perish. You see? Then take us into a place of everlasting, eternal, forever, continually, you see. So we have everlasting light. That if one thing don't work, God's going to give us another. Why? Because of the SHALL, and we're there now. All of the shell is loaded to the point that we even had to move the last one in on the other day, that it couldn't sit there by itself. All of the shell is there. And so when you listen at this video and you see it, I'm telling you, if it don't move you, I'm done. With you, of course. Not with the vision, you understand what I'm saying? Or the things that God has given unto his servant. But it was so powerful, it moved us into a very powerful video, and we did it. It's about 19 minutes long, exactly around 19 minutes long. It's already on YouTube. We're going to move it to that page. We're going to link it here for you to go over there and to look at it. And it was a powerful, powerful, powerful video that we did. But we wanted to show this to you, and this was what last week was all about, to the point that we're like, Lord, it was one of those 9 Lord, 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 Lord. You understand what I'm saying. That's what it was all about and all. And so we have a little bit of things we want to put on this wall, so look out for them because they're coming. We're going to put them on there before we actually close off the wall. We ask you on tomorrow, take the challenge. A lot of things has been happening. AATW all around the world. There are a lot of people discombobulated. There are people that are just in situations because they allow themselves to be drawn into situations. They allow that lust part of them to be drawn into situations of somebody else's situation. I'm telling you, with MD's own life and the things going on in MD life, I really don't have time to be trying to catch up with people gossip and all the things that they're doing. It's enough going on in MD life to keep me busy for the rest of my life and things like that. And so when we get this day off on every Saturday, it's a blessing, you see. And some of you need to start being able to wean yourself anyway off of the internet. Because there's going to come a day where you're not going to be able to get to the internet. You're going to panic. Are you going to get upset? Are you going to be angry? You're going to want to break your phone? What are you going to want to do? So if you start building yourself up and weaning yourself off of things that you seem like you can't do without, you'll find out when you have to do without them, you'll be all right. And so tomorrow we're off the internet. We have people that are taking that challenge. We're off the internet. You won't see us on the internet at all. And there are times when we hit that button real fast and it may pop up with, oh no, we can't be here today. And that's discipline. That's most discipline. And that's where we challenge you to do the same. And then we'll be right back on this MD platform for Light and Life on Sunday. And we'll do every part of this again. And we'll do it some justice, all right? And we may even have a chosen dialogue for that day. Who knows? Or a classic cassette. Who knows? But the Spirit. So, that being said, on Sunday it's at 12:22. Look for the signs. Look for those signs, because once those signs go up, we don't dare take them back. When them signs go up, you better know that we're coming through whatever high water, low water, whatever we need to do, rain, the storm, whatever, to get to this MD platform for Light and Life, all right? So look for us to be here on Sunday, taking it to another place of the Spirit. What will Sunday be anyway? Today is the 1st, so that's the 3rd. So you want to be here because the moves of the glory, the glory ship will be here on Sunday. So the bot will be aligned to that glory, 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 glory. There's 5 of them. One is an additional glory, and that's the glory of Lebanon. So look for that to happen on Sunday, and then we'll come right behind that with whatever the Spirit gives us for that one particular day, which is a day of glory. So you don't want to miss that, all right? That being said, we pray for everyone, whatever you're going through, whatever is happening in your week. Maybe you didn't experience the fantastic February. Maybe you didn't experience the miraculous March. But here's an opportunity for you to experience an amazing April. You want to find a place like I am sent me, the storehouse, the blessed promise, to come in the covenant. Oh, we work you over here. We have to, because we work. And when we work, we mean we work the work of the Lord. And we want to line up to the things of the Lord. We want to hear the Lord and receive the things of the Lord, because oftentimes people want to receive for you, but they don't want to come into alignment or agreement or obedience. You understand? And but they want God to bless. And here's what we love about God, and this is where we're closed. Is that the God that we serve is like the way he reigns. It says he reigns on the just as well as the unjust. And so you can have some of the folks up in there not living right, they still receive some of the blessing. That can get you sometime, but that's the God that we serve, and that's why some people, they get things, and because they're That's why they don't know what to do with it. You understand? They have it today and it's going tomorrow. Here you in your blessed self, you continue on with the blessing and it continues to grow and grow and grow. So we wouldn't worry about the ones that get the little sprinkles and, get this a little here, a little there. Let's continue to receive the abundance of God, and that comes through obedience and hearing the word of the Lord, and then pursuing the word of God, and then doing what the word of God would have us to do, because we just don't want to be hearers only. We want to be doers of the word, okay? Well, we got to get up out of here. You know how we leave you? We put in a little bit of extra time. We normally do it. We come back and we try to make up, especially when we're off for those days like we are, and all you can tell them, Dita picked up some more strength in all, and so we'll be at it on Sunday. We'll come at it real good on Sunday and all, and we'll be into this month of what we consider to be an amazing month. Until then, we go out with just 2 words, and that is Lord Light. Oh, we're not going to do it. See, look at that. Mother, you didn't drop that net. Yes, we are. We're about to drop that net. Here it comes, right there. There it is. That's St. John 21:6. There you go. You see a servant doing it. We're casting to the right side, and it says, ye shall find. There it is right there. St. John 21:6. All right, those 2 words, Lord, light.